he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. If a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. I'm sure that this is a powerful grandpa who learned and observed from their children, and it is true. Family environment creates a tremendous influence on the children. This is another one which we discussed in a different version yesterday. Sow a thought and you reap an act. An act, you reap a habit. And the habit will reap a character. And the character to a destiny. Thus, there is a cumulative effect on what you are doing with your children. Billy Graham said, give them a goal to work toward, give them a pattern that they can see things clearly, and you give them something that gold or silver cannot buy. Parenting is so powerful. You have a tremendous influence on your kids. It's your children, right? And you are responsible. There's unconditional love and good discipline. It's the secret of good parenting. Strict discipline as well as unconditional love. These two words don't forget in parenting. Sometimes you'll be strict, but the next day you need to be working with them. If you don't, sometimes parents threaten children. It's not healthy. Never threaten. But you can define the rules. Those who have, how many of you have children under 5 years? Good. This is for that group. When you look at this brain development, before the age of 5, most of the children will develop their 75% of the functions such as vision, auditory, central auditory system, ways of responding, language skills, emotional control, symbol, and even some social skills. Therefore, the physical, psychological touch and care is very important. First 3 years is critical. Even fall from the bed, or when little things have tremendous impact on the brain. To be very responsible. And also, if a child falls from the bed, if you take it to the hospital, you know it's called child neglect. You have no excuse. They may take your child physically and take to the Department of Social Service. Thus, there is a legal issue, but more than, you need to take care of your children. I will not be excited giving your children to anybody other than the parents. I know that some grandparents and some older parents, sometimes they may not be cognitively in a position to take care of a child. When the phone calls come, grandmas and all run behind the phone. Thus, in India, they know how to manage it. Here, systems are slightly different. Therefore, parents need to be responsible for their children. There's no excuse. Now, the felt needs of the children when you look, yes, they also need love, respect, role models, guidance, a good listening ear, time to be involved in them, and an interest in them and in their world. A lot of parents don't fully understand their world, what games they watch, what kind of friends they have. We need to sometimes spend some time with them. You may not enjoy it, but still, spend some time with these children. That's a great opportunity. When some advice, especially if you have small children, these children do have behavior tantrums, you know, small children. You can see in the church, even in public place, they will be very sharp. They irritate, and the parents lose their control too. Well, just ignore for some time. You don't need to respond for every impulsive behavior a child has. That is the developmental period. Second, give child some space. Third, create diversion. Because their thought patterns are slightly different. If you distract them, they will be alright sometimes. Find out what's really frustrating the child. Maybe the child is or want a nap, a hug. Those things have tremendous impact on the children. Even offer food or suggest little recreation. They will be so excited. Give incentive to behave nicely. Speak calmly always with children. That's tremendous impact. You may sometimes parents have the pattern of shouting, yelling at them. That's not going to help your children. Laugh it off. Get out of there, leave them for some time. Let them cry for 10 minutes, nothing will happen. Sometimes parents get so irritated when their children cry. Well, let their lungs grow when they cry. Thus, don't worry too much, on some of these things when you're distracted, but you need to help them when they go through difficult situations. Again, the teens, when you deal with, these are the things parents must be aware about. Drugs and alcohol is affecting 1/3 of the teenagers in this country. 60% of the children are exposed to drugs, high school children in this country. Anxiety and depression, close to 20% of the children may develop mental health issues. Anxiety. So you need to be aware about. Even suicide, the second cause of death in this country between the age group of 15 to 21 is suicide. Second cause of death. This is the most productive age group, right? 15 to 21. Primary, secondary cause of death is suicide. It is because of depression and substance abuse. That makes a terrible combination. Then pornography. Because now all the homes have computers, internet 24/7. Now, TV, they don't need to watch it. They have the iPhone. They can connect the whole world, watch any garbage they want, and it is destroying their mental, spiritual, even their academic future. This is a major problem, worse than drugs and mental illness. It has destroyed many families, many people, because once you are exposed to this literature, these images, which will be there in the head, it may take a lot of effort to undo those things. Whether they want to forget and move on in life, it brings their future marriage, relationship. And see, it's affecting. One second. Because it's affecting a lot of people these days. I will get into a discussion part with this. As I said, we'll have some questions so that it will be more interactive. Let me ask the question now. How old your child should be when you first start to discuss issues such as alcohol, drugs, sex with your teen? You have 5 response options. How many of you think that age 5 is the right answer? None. 13? Few people. 50? Got some. 40? 1. Age 9? Well, from my experience, I will put age 13. Again, depends upon the maturity. For example, girls mature faster than boys. Therefore, you have to use the discernment. And also, the age is only one way of looking at the maturity level. There are many other factors. But 13 is physical, when hormones are all moving into a different direction. The average age is 13. That's what I would recommend. But many Indian parents are not comfortable in talking some of these issues. Next question. Any doubt about it or any suggestion? Yes.
So you guys don't teach, they won't come back to school. Because they go to school, right? So the questions are there come first. So that's something which you know about.
That's right. Right.
So that's what I would say the money should be the key, maybe not the drugs and the alcohol, but to look at where people start using drugs and we don't know what they do.
As long as you are comfortable with the parents and children should be comfortable. We don't want to introduce something which is going to bring troubles also. Therefore, you have to look at the comfort level for both parents. As long as even it can be, the most important thing is that comfort zone. Do you want to don't want to distract them? Yes.
I don't think we have to have that whole discussion the first time also. I think the first time you say, you're getting older, your body's changing, hormones are making things differently, be smart. You don't have to have like a full-blown conversation. It's like good feeding.
Yes, yes. Yes, it's slowly start. You don't need to start with sex work. You can start with drugs or just little by little. Then you create a bridge for them to come and ask and talk. That's very important. Good. Next one. How do you monitor teens' use of the internet? These are the 5 ways Indian parents are handling this. Number 1, I don't give my child access to the internet. Anyone doing that? Practically impossible. I keep the computer in a common area so I can be aware of their activity. How many of you are doing that? I see a few people. I trust them totally. I don't monitor at all. Anyone? You don't have the trust with your children? Yes. I set clear rules about where they can surf, make it clear I will monitor their behavior and remove privileges if they visit sites that I do not believe are safe. Anyone? I see one. I let them have a computer in their room and occasionally look at their history folder to see where they have visited. Anyone? Some people have no response to. Well, now I'm asking you, what would be the most appropriate one? Or practical one? The one which would really help these children and the parents. Number 2. Okay. Yes? 4. How many of you agree with 4? I see more responses for 4. Yes. 4, as a counselor, that's what I would recommend. The problem with the 2, if they are small, that will work. When they grow up, they don't need your computer. Right? They can go to friends, library, your iPhone. You cannot monitor that. That may work till they are at a certain level. Thus, even our goal is to teach and train these children. Right? In that case, you need to put clear rules because train up a child the way they should. This is a kind of a training. They may make mistakes, but the most important thing is they need to learn clear rules, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. If you hide, they have more attraction to see those things.
Yeah, and also knowing it's a practical approach.
Yes,
Software, you can set up.
absolutely. It may cost you someday family protection. Verizon has a full family protection plan. Immediately you get an email saying, your son so-and-so visited that site. Thus, I know it creates sometimes trouble, and I will give some stories about the most recent fight with a father and a son who's 15 or 16. And father is a computer engineer, thus he knows everything about computer. And his son was hiding for weeks and fooled mom that he's not visiting inappropriate sites. Father has the ways to find it. And without much discussion, father opened the computer and disconnected some wires so that he cannot use them. Then immediately the son found that, yes, my dad might have done. They're very smart, we know that. Children are smarter than parents, especially when it comes to technology. Even if you are a computer engineer or scientist. Well, he had a big argument. And finally, he got mom's laptop. And mom always has special arrangement with children, you know. That happens with many Indian families. And dad found that his son is using the laptop. Then he went to his room. Are you using mom's laptop? Yes, what's the problem? I didn't take your computer, I took mom's computer. He didn't like that. He threw that computer to his face. I'm done, I'm leaving this home. It took me 4 hours negotiation with the son to come bring back to home. Well, now he's not talking to his dad. That's the deal. He don't want anything to do with his dad. Well, that's a nice dad. He completely messed up. Well, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how smart we are. We make some impulsive behavioral mistakes. And I'm working on, I'm sure that they'll be all right, but sometimes this kind of situation happens very common. If they're 18, I know they leave home, they don't care. As parents, I'm not saying that we should live in fear, but we should be a little more sensitive when we deal with situations like that. If children develop some form of addiction, it's not going to easily can control. Taking away computers or stopping or threatening them, it's not going to solve the problem. They need real help. So they've been using them for some time. Thus, our traditional methods may not work, especially when you deal with teens. Thus, I would recommend 4. Next question. Any question about this? Or yes, computer control definitely can help. Any other suggestions or feedback on this topic? This is going to be a very common problem facing everyone. It's a matter of time if you have small kids. And small kids, 3-year-old one knows how to use iPhone. You know that. They're waiting for the parents to come and have it. It's kind of becoming more addictive than ever. The affection to this kind of gadgets. How often should parents talk to their teens to find out how they are feeling? What might be going on with them? Discuss important issues facing young people. First one, proactively ask them questions and encourage conversation almost every day. Number 2, never. 3, wait for them to come to me, and if they don't, I'll ask them questions at least on a monthly basis. 4, proactively ask them questions maybe once or twice a week. Now, how many of you agree with number 1? Okay. 2, never? No. 3, wait for them until they come to you. If they're teenagers, they're not going to come to you, we know that. They don't like parents much with them. They want some space. More recently, one teenager said, Dad, I need more space in this place. And Dad is too smart. He said, get outside, there's enough space there. Thus, they're looking for space. Sometimes you have to take it as not as threatening, but just as a joke, they get a point. You don't need to fight with them. Well, anyone agree with number 3? No. Number 4? Those people are basically divided between 4 and 1. Now let's give your rationale why you selected 1 versus 4. If you can talk a little louder, that will be great. If you have a mic, I can't hear you very well. Yes?
If you ask them every day, they're not going to be.
They will say if you are a pain in the neck, right?
4 gives more space, I guess.
What's that?
4 will give more space for the kids. Give them more space? Yeah. 4 gives more space.
Oh. Does any question about which one you will go with? I will go with 4. Yes?
No, I will still go with 1.
Okay.
See, from the parents' point of view, you can start a conversation, you might doesn't want to talk, share the option. The other thing is that this option will give them a chance to share on a daily basis. Because, if you don't have to talk to them regularly, obviously someone has created this one, to them. So they go to they don't want to talk to them. So there is a chance, that you might not come to know something is very important, which as a parent, so I will still go with 1.
Maybe it's not like a formal conversation, maybe just to know what is happening. Just like a question, the day-to-day question, how did your school go there, how was yesterday, just like that.
Those things are perfectly fine. We should.
Yeah.
But getting into a discussion which is more than 5 minutes or so on a topic every day sometimes can be disappointing. Yes?
The problem is that people talk every day about the habit of school on school for the personal things or they don't want it or formal, then we are closing that gap. Once we close that conversation line, then you can talk. I can say they are very long, they don't even listen what you talk about.
Yes.
That's very important.